In this episode of the Leadersmith podcast, I'm going to be talking about the ROI of customer experience. Stay tuned.
In a world of incompetent bosses, micromanagers, and petty tyrants, you are listening to The Leadersmith. Now, here is your host, Darren Gerdes.
Okay, so in this episode, I'm talking about how to prove the ROI of customer experience. This comes from a fantastic article by Blake Morgan in Forbes magazine. Sometimes these magazines, Forbes and Fortune, Entrepreneur, sometimes they have really weak articles. Sometimes they have incredible articles. This is an incredible article. It's how to prove the ROI of customer experience. Okay, so Blake starts by talking about this. The biggest obstacles that you have if you want to deal with a customer experience, try to enhance customer experience, is convincing executives, the powers that be, those that hold the purse strings, that this is a good investment. Okay, it's very easy to prove this is going to lead to more sales, spend money on this, or this is going to lead, this marketing campaign is going to show me how many leads I got. Very easy to do that. But customer experience, you can't forget about it, particularly right now in a time where you're very likely to lose customers unless you're in the face mask business or something where you're just in such demand. If customers can leave, they will leave, and you want to make sure that they don't leave because they're far more. It's far cheaper to keep customers than to go find new customers. Okay, so here, how do you get executives on board? Well, when you think about the ROI of the customer experience, Blake Morgan gives a number of stats here from various places. They're all legit. Customer-centric companies are 60% more profitable. Brands with superior customer experience bring in 5.7 times more revenue. 84% of companies that work to improve their customer experience report an increase in revenue. Okay, so that makes sense. It all stands to reason. Don't worry about the specifics of the number. Worry about if you spend time pleasing your customer, which is your entire job, please your customer, then guess what? They like you and they want to come back. So that's what we want to focus on. Now, research from Forrester revealed that the three main areas for focus for CEOs are not customer experience and customer delight and customer growth and those kind of things. It's revenue growth, it's profitable growth, and it's stock price. That is what CEOs are focused on. And I understand that CEOs need to be focused on it. But if you want to improve the customer experience, you have to link these customer-focused initiatives to those things that the CEOs are focused on: revenue growth, profit growth, and stock price. So if you can do that, you're going to be in business. But you have to find the right metrics. Okay, so companies that are not customer-centric tend to do stupid stuff. They tend to tick off their customers. They tend to send them messages that they don't want. They tend to ignore them when they're not trying to sell them. They do bad things like that. But if you're focused on your customers, you get this nice feedback loop, and this feedback loop will help you adjust and create a better experience and deliver what customers are actually after, because they'll tell you if you're willing to listen. The article says this: on top of that, unhappy customers cost more to serve because they require more time and resources to build goodwill. Instead of spending money to recover from a bad experience, proactively spending money to create positive experiences pays off incredibly. Okay, so that's what we should be doing. We should be delighting our customers. And again, it's harder to delight customers. I'm just going to use my circumstances. In my classroom, when I'm behind plexiglass and everybody's wearing a mask, it's not quite the same experience as we usually have in the classroom, but I'm going the extra mile trying to please my students, trying to make sure that I'm spending extra time, being quicker to get back to messages, doing those kinds of things, making sure they're getting real value out of what we're doing in class and in my assignments. You have to do the exact same thing. You have to figure out what it is in your world that will please your customers. Okay, so build long-term customers and think lifetime value of that customer. Not will they buy this time, but what will they buy over the time that they're connected to your organization. This is customer lifetime value, and it's a dollar amount that totals that all up, and then you're looking at a very different circumstance. You're not just looking at, this, I don't know, let's say $100 engagement. You are looking at thousands of dollars perhaps, or depending on whatever business, it could be far more than that. So measuring customer loyalty can be as simple as a survey that asks customers how likely they are to make a return purchase or refer the company to friends. Then you can see if they're engaged or they're not engaged, but you want these engaged customers. And if you attach a high CLV, that's customer lifetime value, and you find that they have a high degree of loyalty, that is gold right there. Those are the people that are going to make or break you. Those are the people that you want to make sure are very, very happy. Okay, the general rule of thumb, according to the article, is that it costs 5 times more to create a new customer as it does to retain an established one. 5 times. So be kind to the customers that you have. Please those customers and let them, by word of mouth, attract new customers on your behalf. They become a sales force on your behalf for free. Okay, customer lifetime value. According to research by McKinsey, when brands get personalization right, guess what happens? They actually get a 5 to 8 time bump in ROI, sales lift by 10%. This is according to McKinsey. Okay, so it always helps. Now, how do you prove? This is really the rub of this. How do you prove the ROI of customer service, customer value, of doing all these things that are going to benefit the customer experience? Before I get into that, I was just talking about that this morning. So I'm involved in the tech aspect within the university. I have this extra hat as a director of instructional technology. And I was talking to someone about why are we doing this thing that's creating a problem for some of our faculty and students? Well, because it's easier for the institution. And I said in very clear terms, unless I can justify that thing is more valuable than the irritation that it's creating for faculty who can't work this or for students who can't get on, they have to justify that. And that's essentially what we talked about. We all have to be thinking about customer value, customer experiences, and how important that is. Not just the pennies and that we're going to save or the harassment that we won't have to put up with if we don't have to do this. We have to get beyond that. Okay, so to prove the value of the customer experience, the ROI, to those that hold the purse strings, do these things. One, lead with the financial benefit. Say, hey, look, this is going to save this amount of money. Now we're going to have to spend this amount to save this amount, but lead with what you're going to save, because that's how people are going to be receptive to it. Okay? Show them how you're going to get long-term gains and not just immediate benefit, although they need to see immediate benefit because executives tend to focus on what's immediate. Your manager is going to focus on what's immediate. But if they can see both immediate is going to be okay and you're going to have long-term gains from there, you'll be in good shape. Okay, so I'm going to quote, Forrester recommends getting your pitch down to a 1-sentence business case. State what you want to do, how much it will save or earn the company, and then how much it will cost. So if you get that all lined up very clearly, you have a better chance of getting it through than if you don't take the time to get it so succinctly. And then finally, tie customer experience not just to money, but to doing the right thing, to the long-term and short-term experience and economic results. Tie it all together. Make sure that your bosses understand that this is not just about experience for the sake of experience. This is for the long-term health of the organization. The author says this: focus on the data and analytics, target the right customers, and put customers first in everything you do to drive metrics and showcase the strong ROI of customer experience. I love this article. Blake Morgan did such a great job writing it, and I can't say enough about it. I'm going to link it below. Okay, here's the quotation for contemplation for today. It again comes from Warren Buffett. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Okay, that's all that I have for today. I hope that helps you become the kind of leader that you would want to follow.